Wine gives me a headache.
Hi, I'm Phil.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking.
Pretty good.
Do you like fancy foods? Are you old school? We're gonna make shrimp cocktail for the boys. Hell yeah. And what's a Tuesday night if you're not opening a bottle of wine with the boys that I might be the only one to drink? Excuse me, Kevin. I love shrimp cocktail. Kevin, how do you feel about it?
To be totally honest, not that into it.
Not that into it.
I think if it was hot, I would like it more.
The main reason people like shrimp cocktails is it's cold. I mean, it's a way of, you know, like if it's hot outside, you get a nice cold appetizer. All right, I'm gonna work on making a cocktail sauce, and Kevin's gonna peel some shrimp. Typically, shrimp cocktail is served with the very tail on, so that you got a little grabby, something to hold the shrimp by, lest you touch the food that you're about to consume. Most of these shrimp are already peeled, so Kevin only has like 12 shrimp to peel, but he's gonna do that. Are you up to the task, Kevin?
Yes, because my maximum shrimp peeling per day is 13.
That might be more than 12.
Oh no!
I kept saying like 12 to,
Oh no!
you know.
Well, if you hit 13, you're gonna have to stop, Kevin.
It's true.
Shit. Okay. All right, cocktail sauce, like many things in life, is made out of ketchup. So we'll start with that. This is Kroger original ketchup. Give it a shake. And I'm just gonna dump the rest of the bottle into this container. I am making a lot of sauce today, and I am gonna eyeball it. So this will be useless as a recipe. Like everything we make. Here's Hunt's 100% natural ketchup, thicker and richer. There's some poor taste jokes to be made there. You wanna use two kinds of ketchups for a depth of flavor. I'm just kidding, you don't gotta do that. All right, this one I'm gonna squeeze with the cap on. Hell yeah. Okay, next up, we're gonna add some Worldstar Sauce, also known as salsa inglés. Most of the times you're gonna use about a teaspoon of this, but you can do that to taste.
Shit, what just happened?
They're fighting back.
And in addition, we're gonna add some lemon. I sliced these lemons for a party and nobody used them. You can see that I'm putting some lemon seeds into the mix. That is for authenticity, so everyone knows that I used freshly squeezed lemons. I think I'm gonna use about 4 wedges. That's right, exciting stuff. Next up, I'm gonna wipe my hands off. I'm gonna add some Tabasco. It's gotta be Tabasco, unless you wanna use something different. But Tabasco is definitely the traditional hot sauce.
He's got frostbite. Oh no.
Is it just the ice?
Yeah.
Alright. Tabasco is that old school flavor, so if you're trying to make it old school style, use Tabasco. Also probably about a teaspoon, but you know, more or less, based on how brave and strong you feel. Finally, unless it's not the final ingredient you put in, will be prepared horseradish. Horseradish is spicy, and it is the signature flavor of cocktail sauce. If you want to use fresh, you can, but it will not taste as authentic because everyone uses this ground stuff. And I personally like to completely load up my cocktail sauce. Today, we'll have to try it before we buy it. Not very spicy at all, so dump. Being careful not to splash yourself. Okay, that's about half the jar. We'll give it a mix. And you can see that the horseradish is evident in the sauce, which is how I like it. So give that a quick taste. I think it could use some more Tabasco, maybe a little bit more W sauce. I gotta say, I think this horseradish is disappointing. It's just not spicy, but that's okay. Yeah, that's good. Good sauce. And that's it. Cocktail sauce is easy. You can put garlic in it if you want. And that actually, I have some fresh garlic from the garden that's very pungent. That might actually be a way to make this more spicy tasting. But I am gonna skip that today. So we're just making the old school sauce. How's that peeling going, Kevin?
Good.
All right, while we're waiting on those shrimp to be peeled, let's go ahead and get a pot of water boiling. You may be tempted, like many people have been tempted, and many people do, to use pre-cooked shrimp. But I say, don't do it unless you're desperate. The quality of shrimp that have been freshly cooked and then chilled is night and day in my opinion. I always can tell if that shrimp was cooked recently or not. So we will boil our shrimp. We will go through the whole cycle, right? We'll thaw the shrimp, we'll cook the shrimp, and then we'll cool it back down. All right, I got some water on the stove here and I salted it. I like to salt water when I cook things, almost all the time. John's mad that he didn't get to film me adding salt to the water. But that's all the information I have to share at this time. It's time to cook our shrimp in our boiling water. Okay, today we're cooking about 3 pounds of shrimp, allocating 1 pound of shrimp per person, which is far more than is necessary, but we're hungry boys, and this is the main course tonight. There are 2 kinds of shrimp in here. Some of them are pink, and some of them are not, but they should cook at relatively the same rate. So we will simmer those for just a few minutes until they are fully cooked. You can tell when shrimp are fully cooked because they turn pink, and in the case of the pink shrimp, you can tell when they're fully cooked by guessing. When they are fully cooked to my satisfaction, I am going to strain the shrimp and then put them on ice, but I gotta go do other things now. Is those shrimps done? Yes, they obviously are done. If you're really unsure, you can pop one open and cut it, but for all of my intents and purposes, these are done, so I'm gonna go and strain them. And then we'll get an ice bath going to cool them down, which is pretty important for cooking shrimp in this style because they will continue to cook if you do not cool them down. And another thing you can do is give them a rinse in the sink. Cold water, that helps start the cooling process. All right, and then let's get our ice bath going, which is as simple as taking ice and filling it up with water. Whenever you feel like you can pop those bad boys in there. And if you have room in your fridge, just put the whole thing in there, which I probably don't. But maybe, could it be sufficient room? Will the fridge close? Nope. All right, the fridge is closed. Okay, so once those fully cool, and once you put the last ice cube in your glass of wine, we're gonna let that chill. It's almost time to eat. All right, our shrimp are fully cooled. You can tell because the water's cold. Fantastic. So, depending on your setup at home, you do want to keep these cold for serving. We're gonna eat them immediately, so I'm not worried about it, but you could set up a double bowl, like a bowl on top of another bowl with ice underneath, and that'll help keep them cold. And if you really want to impress some people, you can go through and with paper towels individually dry each shrimp, like so. It makes for a nicer thing to eat, but it is so tedious, there's no way I'm gonna do it. But I did learn that trick from Courtney's grandmother. She dried every single shrimp. So, all that's left to do is to try it. And I seriously cannot be bothered to dry them, so we're not gonna do that today. But we will set this up. We'll spoon some cocktail sauce into the middle, but in reality we're just doing that for the thumbnail because when we eat it we'll just have our own. And then basically you just take your shrimp, pile them onto the plate. If you have like a fancy ring dip thing, this is a good use for that. I might run out of room, that's okay, nobody has to know. And you also want to serve these with wedges of lemon, which you can artfully arrange to your liking. I chose to put them like that because I have the skills of an artist. And here is our shrimp cocktail. Let's taste it. And by the way, when you make shrimp cocktail at home for you and your family, you can double dip, it doesn't matter. Tastes good. Tastes like shrimp cocktail.
I'm good.
Even cold, you like it?
Even cold, it's good.
Fantastic. Well, that's how we did it. I hope you enjoy making shrimp cocktail at home. Oftentimes, I just buy the sauce myself, because sometimes it's fine. But I will say, it's like infinitely cheaper to make this at home than getting at a restaurant. You might pay $15 for 4 shrimp and a bucket of ketchup. So if you are fancy and you like this kind of thing, please enjoy. We'll see you next time on PGC.